WWE has some things that we all love, but they also have some things that drive us absolutely nuts. Today, we're talking about things that we want WWE to make go away, but also things that we wish they would bring back. My name is Matt, welcome to Assemble. If you guys end up enjoying this video, do me a big favor if you can, and hit the subscribe button. The like button goes a long way. Let's kick things off with one of the biggest fan frustrations right now, and that is DQ finishes. I see this all the time online, and I just can't help but notice it, that I think that they need to come up with a new way to finish matches. It's a crazy idea. They could just finish matches by finishing them. You could have a winner and a loser. It's okay sometimes. It can tell a unique story. But main event matches on Raw ending in disqualification, or they finish and it's the beatdown after the match, the post-match beatdown. Most of the time right now, it's dealing with Seth Rollins and the Vision. I really wish they would think of something else, or a different scenario, a different location. Do it in the parking lot. Do it outside. Just do something different. Make this go away. But you know what would help to make things a little bit better and more unique? Are more unique match types. Bringing back old matches that we used to get, old stipulations. Too many times now with WWE, the matches seem to culminate with a no disqualification match, a no holds barred, or just a street fight. Seems to just be the way they like to do it. I understand it gives them the freedom to bust out a Slim Jim table and everyone goes smashy through that, but any which way they want to call it, they essentially have just no disqualification matches. Give me the thrill of a feud that's going to climax. It's a naughty word, but give me a feud that will culminate in an I Quit match, in a Buried Alive match. One of Matt's personal favorites, by the way, 3 Stages of Hell. Love that match. Triple H versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. If you've never watched it or seen it, please go check it out. 3 Stages of Hell. You start off with like a regular match, then you go to a no DQ match, and then you finish it with the steel cage. Or you change it all up entirely and you have no DQ and an Inferno and then a third one. It's such a great way to culminate like a big blood feud. The last time I feel like we got something where they went with multiple match stipulations was CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. They had a special guest referee, then they had like a strap match where they got to touch all 4 corners, and they culminated in a Hell in a Cell, and the match and the feud needed it. So I'm not just saying just throw out a random Inferno match on Raw. I mean, I'd like to see it, but make it make sense. Oh, there's one more. Because I saw this on WWE's YouTube, and they brought up like a match, and I was like, oh my gosh, that was also one of my favorites. Championship Scramble. I would love it if they had an Intercontinental Championship Scramble match. 2 guys start off in the ring. Every couple of minutes, they got somebody else coming in there, and then they can all go for the belt. They can pin anybody. But there are other things that need to just go away and never return ever again. Bland, generic theme music. Now, some people's theme songs are better, or they're sounding okay. I actually like Becky Lynch's new theme song. CM Punk has cult of personality. Seth Rollins has been around long enough that the whoa is kind of like a whole thing. LA Knight's theme song makes everybody pop. And Roman Reigns is Tribal Chief, put the ones up because everybody pops for Roman Reigns. But there are so many times in WWE, especially today, that it's insert generic rock theme music thingy on a loop for 2 minutes, and I don't care. Theme music is supposed to give the wrestler the identity, that I connect it to the other person. We do get some of that, like the names I mentioned, but there are so many times where I'm like, I don't know what Roxanne Perez's music is. LWO? I can't think of it right now. F Rebel really did suck the life out of so many wrestlers' themes. Something they can kind of improve upon. Bring back iconic theme songs. License out some music. Get some other themes in there, get some new tracks. Because the current ones, they need to go away. They need to look at the whole roster and be like, man, this person could probably do even better if they had like all the right packaging. Which is where something else needs to make a comeback, and that is Titantrons. The only person I can think of today that gets a custom Tron that isn't just swirling letters of their name is Logan Paul. Back in the day, as I'm an old piece of trash sitting here, everybody had Titantrons that were a video hype package, essentially, of their greatest hits, greatest moments. Stone Cold Steve Austin, his whole Tron was just dishing out stunners and middle fingers and saluting, and it was amazing. You combine that with his theme song, which is one of the greatest of all time, and you got a great packaging for Stone Cold Steve Austin. And even for him, in his retirement years, He's just got Tron that just says like Steve Austin, Stone Cold, like it's just trash. The Hardy Boys were coming out, we're doing the Jeff Hardy's do, and he's gonna do the big pyro. Jericho's countdown, Kane with the giant flaming pyro coming out. Too many times today, the entrances feel like they have no life. It's just the person's picture on the Tron and their name next to it. Or they just move the name around like it's a PowerPoint presentation and it's on a loop. It's awful. It does not get you invested or connected, I feel like, with the superstar that they're presenting to you. Like Cody's packaging is off the charts. He's got graphics and 3D things going on and the whoa and everybody's whoaing all the time and pyro. Like Cody's got it all in there. You know it's Cody Rhodes. But the entrances are not also one thing that needs to be tweaked and adapted, ladies and gentlemen. Something that needs to completely go away, to me, is going to be the backstage segments every week. And I get it. They gotta have some continuity here. They want people to have something that's familiar, that they recognize, that they can connect with. But how many times do we have to have somebody just standing there and insert microphone interviewer? Ladies and gentlemen, my guest at this time is the New Day. And they talk for 30 seconds and to the camera and to the girl and they walk away. Or the girl's got the microphone interviewing somebody, pointing the microphone, but then they leave. And then yet the audio is still working because there's actually a boom mic there right around them and the camera's pointed directly on them and the superstars are acting like nobody can see them. There's a cameraman right there, dude. Same backstage moments, vignettes, the interview segments. Maybe it doesn't have to go away completely, but maybe it can just get refreshed into something that's more fun and unique and modern. I like that they do certain things, like they'll have CM Punk arrive at the arena and he walks all the way from the back to the front and into the ring. That's cool. And yeah, they don't do it all the time, because if you do it all the time, then it's not special anymore. They do it frequently, but it is a nice new thing that they have done from a production standpoint. Another thing on Matt's little list here that needs to go away, and someone in the comments of a video brought this up, and I was like, yeah, I feel this every single week on Raw, especially Raw, because Raw's like 2.5 hours, and they do this on SmackDown too, and really noticeable on Raw. The long drawn out beginning of Raw. You gotta tell me what you think. To me, it really stands out now that the first, let's say 10 to 15 minutes of Raw doesn't matter. It's a recap and arrival from the airport kind of thing. Like it is, the show logo starts, welcome to Raw, and then we gotta see people arriving from car into the arena, and it's all pre-filmed from earlier in the day. So the announcers are like, oh look, CM Punk is here. Oh, Judgment Day is here, everybody. And it pops the live crowd, because the live crowd gets a sense of who's actually going to be on the show. So that's good. It's just like a little way to advertise. But they do that. And then you get drone shots from the arena, where the drones are actually kind of crap quality. Could they not be springing for a little bit more expensive drone? Have you seen drone footage nowadays? It's fantastic. You get like 8K freaking drones flying around. They got something that's from 2005. So after the drone shots, we proceed to have somebody's entrance music hit. So you have well, typically what do we get nowadays? We get Seth Rollins in the Vision. So Seth comes out to the ring, stands in the ring, they whoa, they chant, and then he doesn't talk. And then eventually he does talk, and you can often check your watch, and it's been anywhere from 10 to 14 to 17 minutes before someone has spoken a word. To me, when you get to 10-15 minute time period, we could have had a match. We could have told a story. Could have told a story with people that don't get on TV very often. You could do 10 minutes and you could still get away with your Seth promo for 5 minutes. Show intros that are bloated like that really turn me off as a viewer, because it's not a 2.5 hour Raw anymore. And sure, there's ads and commercial breaks. You still get that even though it's Netflix, but you start trimming out that beginning and man, it's not that long of a show. It's just very bloated. So that goes to the next point, which is something they need to bring back, and that's the chaos of Monday Night Raw. And this wasn't even just like, oh, Attitude Era, everything was wild. Even just a few years ago, still under Triple H, and Vince was there and not there, but they were trying different things. You could tell that they were doing different things. Sometimes Raw just opened with a brawl. The camera turned on, Raw started, and two people are fighting in the ring or in the back. That's how they started the show. Start the show with a parking lot brawl. Someone gets hit by a car. He did it for The Rock. The mystery whodunit angle, where there's a story thread that starts from the very beginning of the show and maybe it gets paid off at the end. Because, like we said just a moment ago, that they do the superstars arriving from the airport to the arena and to the ring, they do that every single time. So when they first brought that in, I thought that feels kind of special. That's unique. That's new and fresh. And to me, it gives it more of a sports feel. But do that in like a pre-show, or mix it up. Do it sometimes where Cody Rhodes is arriving at the arena, do the same shot and the same thing we always see, but then have Drew McIntyre just claymore him out of nowhere in the parking lot. Set up a promo later or something else later on. It's a crazy concept here, everybody. You could even bring back the idea of starting the show with a wrestling match. I'm just saying, the opening signature happens, then ding, 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 cuts to the ring, and two people are in the ring and they're already fighting. I think something like that, honestly, it just helps to let the show breathe a little bit more, to add some unpredictability in there. That's a lot of why we watch wrestling, and with it being a live product, it should kind of feel like anything can happen. If I tune in tonight, how is the show gonna start? Are they gonna hook me or not? But when it's the same thing of just entrances and people arriving at the arena, it lets the viewer just feel like, I could just pause it, I could just come back later. And so once the show gets going, one thing that they need to just have go away is any of the kind of redundant rematches, or even, I put in that bucket, rematch promos, where we're getting the same promos again. We get a Cody Rhodes John Cena promo multi-weeks in a row, a John Cena Logan Paul promo, Drew McIntyre doing promos week after week on SmackDown by himself, The Vision standing in the ring and doing a 15-minute promo together. When it happens consistently over and over, we start to notice these things standing out a lot more, and not for the better. And it feels like I'm picking on Seth and his group. I enjoy what they're doing right now. I like the chaos that Bronson Reed brings as a Shula Fala. Braun Breaker is just a stud and a standout star. And I do like the addition of Becky Lynch and where they can go with it. But it has felt like for weeks or months that they're stuck with this group constantly finishing off Raw, and it's always the same thing. Or the women are always in just the same bag. Like, how many times is Rhea Ripley just in a backstage moment with Io Sky? Or Io is just backstage doing nothing and just kind of walking around smiling. Like, let's have some matches here. Let's proceed with some storyline. That brings me to the next point. Let's have title matches. Let's have more title matches like we saw on Raw with Dom and AJ Styles. The crowd in France was amazing, and they loved Mr. AJ Styles, and I really did enjoy that match. Let's have more of that kind of thing. Which brings me to another point of bringing back something, and that would be the prestige of the mid-card titles. There was a little moment in there when Triple H took over control of WWE and creative. At that point, the mid-card titles were floundering. The United States Championship, the Intercontinental title, they really were not a focal point. And I do remember that when Vince was gone, we started getting video packages about the United States Championship, about the IC title, about its history, its legacy. They were building it up. And then you had the likes of Gunther go on a full year run with the IC title, and it really did elevate it. The United States Championship was getting more TV time. It was getting feuds. It was getting more action. The women's side, they brought in the United States Championship and the IC title. The IC title got picked up by Lyra, and it was kind of lukewarm in my opinion when they started, but man, they totally elevated that thing because of the feud they brought in by bringing in heavy hitters like Bayley and Becky. The United States Championship, I love that Chelsea Green had it. I can't say the same thing on the US title side for the women. I wish they would do more with it, give it more depth and stories with it. Julia has it. I think that's great for Julia, but I wish that the stories had a little bit more depth and meaning. Because we don't get Cody Rhodes on TV every single week, Seth Rollins is your World Heavyweight Champion, and they're doing way more right now to build up that world title to be kind of the 1B to WWE Championship. You got the women's main event titles, the WWE and the world title there, but those mid-card titles for the women and the men, I think that they could use a little bit more love. Sami Zayn wins the US title. It's kind of shocking. They brought him right over and boom, he wins that belt in the main event of SmackDown. It's a great moment. So it'd be nice to see more emphasis, I guess, and maybe it even matters a little bit of where they put it on the card for weekly TV shows. If they built a story up properly, you might have Julia with the United States Championship main event SmackDown one time, but they got to invest the time and energy into it and make the story compelling so people want to see that match. So that's our list for everything that needs to go away or come back from WWE right now. But what's on your list? Let me know in the comments below. Hit that like button if you guys can, and do me a favor and click this video right here because we're talking WrestlePalooza. Early predictions, what could be on the match card, what's already confirmed. Have a great day. See ya.